Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I am late. Hey, COG. I haven't seen you in a minute. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for stopping by. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Those that are coming through, I'm sure notifications are just now going out. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button, please, and thank you. My goodness. I know my thumb just a little psycho, just a little. Welcome, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. If you have doctor before your name, run fast. It's a shame how Oprah has ruined so many careers in lives. Oh, my goodness. I'm here for Dr. Phil is a wackadoo. That is no lie. Lord have mercy. I know, right? That is no lie. Let me let the people know that we live. We live now. This photo right here on Dr. Phil is just a crazy photo. So I was like, let me steal it for the purposes of this live. Yeah, and I mean that. In my opinion, Dr. Phil is a psycho. And I mean that. I think he's very he knows what he's doing, but I think he's a bit of a psycho. Okay. This is my thought. You just got noticed. How are you? How are you guys doing? Thank you guys for being here. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Let's get this intro going because, guys, we have oh so much to review. Dr. Phil's just a little bit of it. We definitely got a lot to review, and you guys are coming in hot about Dr. Phil. So let's go. Hold up. Wait a minute.
Bruh.
Did you hit the like button? Drop some rabbits in the chat. Let's go.
Hit that like, hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat, hit chat. Hit that like, hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop some drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. If you want the tea, come see me. Rabbit hole is the place to be for real news, not fake news. Celebrity news, breaking news around the clock. Real talk, best on the block. I rock, I rock, I rock, I rock. Real talk, best on the block. I rock, I rock. Hit that like, hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat, chit chat. Hit that like, hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop some drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. True crime is my specialty. Exposed in the industry. Unsolved mysteries. Sticking to reality. Fair use commentary. Talking about cults. Trying to get results. Exploring cults. Exploring, researching, debunking, investigating, being nosy, super nosy, being messy, being shady. Rabbit hole news. That's me, the chick with ADHD, unmedicated but quite educated. Hit that like, hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat, hit chat. Hit that like, hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Hit that like, hit that like. Let's go, let's go. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show.
Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Good morning. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Sunday morning. Y'all, yesterday I was really, really tired. So I did this whole video. Didn't get enough sleep. And so then yesterday I couldn't even look at the computer. That's how tired I was. I really tried my best to just kind of like, get some rest and stuff like that. And then I took a 2-hour nap and then had, just kind of jumped in the shower after that 2-hour nap because it kind of like woke me up, but then it like made me even more tired. But today I woke up and I'm like, all right, I'm well rested today. I feel like I caught up on some of the sleep and now I can get to editing. I'm editing this Brooke Hogan video that, not a lot of people. It's the other side of this. There's so much stuff about Brooke Hogan that we got to talk about. So wait for that edited video. Hopefully I'm able to drop it today. That's my goal. If I get done with my editings, y'all, I'm a slow editor. I am. And I'm a one-person show. So it takes me a minute. You said Dr. Phil, the non-doctor. Next time I'm going to call myself Dr. Rabbit. I'm going to start a channel called The Dr. Rabbit Show. Because nowadays, especially with how, look, my hair is all crazy, with how the education system is going, y'all don't even know, we don't need to go to school. We don't need an education to do different things. Before you know it, you won't even need an education to, be a doctor. Okay, like it's just how it is. I mean, it is what it is. You said, girl, same yesterday. I couldn't even keep my eyes open and started. Yeah, like I was really, really tired. So it was weird. And I don't do naps because it's who takes a 2 hour nap? That's not a nap. I haven't done naps. I used to take a lot of naps when I was in college, in my 20s, but I don't do naps anymore. He lost his license, whatever that is. Oh my goodness. Anyways, welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you guys so much for hitting the like button. I guess we'll start with the Dr. Phil controversy. Or hold up. Before we start with Dr. Phil, there's something that I want to talk about that I think is probably more primary and pertinent that's happening right now. Now, I was visiting the Diddy docket up on Twitter, okay? And she posted something that I feel like not a lot of people are talking about, and so I wanted to talk about it and bring attention to this. So this is a immediate release, just so people are aware. 10 people indicted for trafficking of a 16-year-old girl. Victim met pimp on dating app, was rug, beaten, forced into prostitution. Victims forced to get pimp's name tattooed on her face. Defendant included 6 Johns. So defendants included 6 Johns. Okay. Bronx District Attorney Darcel D. Clark announced today that 9 men and a woman, listen, 9 men and a woman have been indicted on trafficking of a child, promoting prostitution, and other charges involving teenage girls in the Bronx. District Attorney Clark said the victim courageously testified in the grand jury to expose her alleged trafficker's Oris. She's receiving supportive services from our Crime Victims Assistance Bureau and has been able to move on to a better future. This young girl lived a nightmare of abuse and exploitation and began with the dating app. A dating app. Okay. First of all, the kids are getting a hold of dating apps. You got to be checking those apps on the phones, the roadblocks, and stuff like that. That is a popular app. You said I love naps. I scheduled one every day. Very refreshing. I wish I could do that. I just can't. I don't got time to schedule a nap. Hell, I have a hard time scheduling a live. Yes, on a dating app. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. Because those dating apps, what is it? Like, I don't have any dating apps downloaded on my phone, but um I feel like really there isn't a whole lot of there isn't a whole lot of anything you could do, right? So like basically you just confirm an age, whatever that may be, and then you're able to bypass whatever everything that you're able to do, right? So it's kind of like very easy for kids, and she's 16, so I consider her a kid. If this administration wants to charge the youth as adults, it needs to protect the youth as well. This is the language piece that's making it very difficult, right? This kid got a hold of a dating app, which they're very easy to download, okay? And then they were able to, kind of review it and stuff like that and get in there and clearly became a victim of this dating app. Okay, further goes. Please remember that there is help for victims of trafficking. We can get you out of this and protect you. The district attorney Clark said the defendants are variously charged in 79 counts indictment with trafficking of a child, second degree promoting prostitution, third degree promoting prostitution, third degree R-ing, third degree criminal acts, misconduct, use of a child in a performance, promoting an performance by a child. Court Justice Lawrence. This is what Court Justice Lawrence said. hold up, I'm sorry. They were arraigned on prior dates before the Bronx Supreme Court, which is Court Justice Lawrence. Defendant Joshua Green had a bail hearing. That's his name. Defendant Joshua Green had a bail hearing today in which the bail was set for 50,000 and cash and 100,000 bail. The defendants are due back in court on October 14th. According to the investigation, the Bronx DA Human Trafficking Unit and the NYPD Human Trafficking Squad in November 2022, defendant Tishawn Green, 48, of the Bronx, met a 16-year-old girl on a dating app called Tag. Have you guys heard of the Tag? It's called Tag dating app. What is going on? You said Nokia 3210 is my jam. They're also kidnapping people off for job interviews. Yes, I did a video on that. Yeah, those Indeed job. If you're getting an email about a job interview, guys, be careful. Like, it's becoming very dangerous for people out there. Somebody approaches you at the mall talking about, hey, you would be a great model. I mean, that kind of stuff. Like, you guys got to be careful. People got to be careful. Nowadays it's becoming somebody messaging you on IG and letting you know, like, hey, I like your pictures. They're specifically looking at pictures. I work with so and so. I'd like to meet you. That kind of things. People are becoming, I mean, adults and children. Okay, adults and children are becoming easy targets to that kind of situation, if you know what I mean. But apparently the dating app is called Tag. Let's see. Tag dating app. Let me see. I've never heard of it. Oh, now all this tag shit is going to come into my network. This is what it looks like. The social network for meeting new people. This is what the Tag app looks like, I guess. So this is where they met. Yeah, you said a serial killer did that in LA, approaching girls at the mall. Yeah, that was a huge story that was happening, but it's becoming more prevalent. I've never heard of Tag, right? Never heard of it. Hey, Sandy, how are you, my love? A couple of years ago, I was at a cashier at a local grocery store, and this weird lady would come in, but buy groceries, but try to recruit children in line, tell them their parents signed them up. Interesting, Jess. Um, it's a thing, guys. So I think when you're 16, right? It becomes like you could become a target. I think anybody can become a target, but imagine a child at the age of 16 definitely becomes a target of like grooming and stuff like that. People got to be careful. So make sure you're up to date between the Tag. What's another dating app? I don't know. Like, there's a bunch of y'all. I mean, I've been off the market for years, but that's why I'm like, I don't know. There's a lot of dating apps out there that it's very easy for children to, get a hold of. So, yeah. Anyways, so apparently the defendants did post bond, 50,000 in cash, 100,000 in bond. The defendants are due back in court. According to the investigation, apparently the defendant by the name of Tishawn Green, 48, from the Bronx, met a 16-year-old girl on a dating app called Tag. Within weeks, the defendants allegedly began pimping her out, impersonating her on an app, arranging hundreds of dates in New York and Atlantic City, New Jersey, between December 2022 and March 2024. He allegedly supplied her with X before the encounters and kept all of her earnings. Okay. According to the investigation, Tishawn Green fractured the victim's jaw during a beating in a New Jersey hotel. He allegedly tracked the victim and other girls' whereabouts on the Life 360 app. Okay, so he was tracking them through their phone. Okay. Now that app, I am familiar with Life 360. It's something that, if you have a family plan, you can use. You got to be careful because they can sell your information. Just be very careful about stuff like that. Okay. It further goes. The victim was allegedly forced to sell Coca-Cola, I'm going to say that, to Johns by Joshua Green of the Bronx, Tishawn's uncle, who also allegedly trafficked the girls. This is like a family affair. In October 2023, defendants Jamal Cameron and Brianna Jameson, both of Queens, allegedly pimped out the teen at the Holiday Inn Motel in 2291 New England Throughway, Bronx, setting up dates through online commercial S advertisements on the website megapersonals.com, another dating situation. The other defendants are accused of paying to engage in S with victims who was a minor. The case is being prosecuted by Major Case Assistant District Attorney Stephanie M. Riley and Assistant Attorney Stephen Kofer, Chief of Human Trafficking Unit. Under the overall supervision of Adrian Gudin, the Deputy Chief of Special Victims Division, Joseph Murphoff, and Chief of Special Victims Division. Now, the District Attorney Clark thanked the special they thanked each other. This is what they do. All the units that thank each other for this human trafficking situation. Now, I bet to say it wouldn't surprise me that this wouldn't be the only child victim. This is the only child victim that they were able to capture, but they probably have a lot of other victims. You know what I mean? Like, you would have to imagine for multiple people to be involved and stuff like that. I won't get into too many details, but I'll never forget. I had a case where, you guys know I don't really like talking about too much of what I used to do before. I had a case specifically. I'll never forget a young girl, 13-year-old girl who got pregnant, and then finding out that the father was like this 45-year-old guy. Okay, and then we had to do the investigation, bring up different parties. It turned out that it wasn't like this was when I had first started, maybe I would say. And I really realized that when you really realize the web of like how people are connected. So, what they do is these perpetrators or they will groom the child, okay, which is exactly what happened to Alicia Navarro. If you guys remember that story, uh, they will groom the child and say just play in her emotions, his and her emotions. If they're lonely, especially in the gaming apps, they don't have a lot of friends, they wait for them to log on and then kind of start talking to him that way, and then kind of that way, and then they meet them and swoop them off their feet, treat them like better, talk shit about the parents, that kind of thing. And then that's kind of when they have their basically their hooks on the victim, okay? And then they start introducing other elements like other people into the flow, right? So then they become victimized and they get switched all over the place in such situations. So people are aware. You guys got to be careful. And that specific victim was also online and met wait, let me scoot my chair over here. Met victims online, okay? So be careful about what you're doing. But yes. You said, Rabbit, you're so innocent. You've never heard of No, I've never heard of Tag. Do you know Plenty of Fish? I do know about Plenty of Fish, but I was never on Plenty of Fish. I'm not. I'm just I'm not innocent. I'm just letting y'all know I've never heard of Tag. There's just so many websites out there. Rabbit, remember that the actor guy who dated Kaylin Walker? Yeah, was telling girls that he can get them modeling gigs or in movies, and he was graping them. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm so glad you brought this up. There is this, and I heard it was Kaylin Walker's girlfriend, who apparently is now a paralegal. They're fighting to get his conviction overturned. They say they're trying to recruit, which is what they did the first time. They were recruiting social media influencers, YouTubers, to release information on behalf of Kaylin Walker. And so Kaylin Walker apparently in his group is doing it again. Please note that if you are one of those social media influencers, the videos that he was releasing where he was having S with a young girl, she was actually a minor. She was 15. So it doesn't matter that you got to be careful, because they were releasing that shit to anybody who would have it so that people would release it. This is why Tasha K pulled that interview very quickly. A lot of people don't know the backstory. You know who does know the backstory? The Wiley Show. Shout out to the Wiley Show. The Wiley Show did an interview with Kaylin Walker. I'll never forget that. And then the Wiley Show did an interview with Tasha K about it. And I was told that it wasn't just Tasha. There was somebody's Discord. I think it was like Mob Radio. There was a bunch of people that got involved over that situation. You guys got to be careful, okay? Because he was doing that. He was releasing minor children information. And one of the victims, I'll never forget, I had to reach out to, and I said, hey, We're hearing that this is what's happening. Heads up. And the thing about what a lot of bloggers that were on Kaylin Walker's side, the serial convicted artist, he's been convicted for 50 years, by the way. What people weren't saying was that there was DNA evidence that he left behind. He was Ring a lot of young women in Los Angeles. He had a lot of victims. That's what people don't know. And so then they're making this like media spin on like at the height of the Me Too movement. No, sir, you really did that. There was DNA evidence left. But a lot of bloggers weren't reporting that at the time. And some of these victims were minors. Kaylani was not lying about that. And he was having bloggers intimidate victims. He was trying to say he was actively going through his criminal case and he was wanting bloggers to set up the victims in the criminal case. That really did happen. So guys gotta be careful. And I'm glad you brought this up, but yeah, he's back to his shit again behind bars. Behind bars. You said I keep getting texts and emails from people saying they saw a resume, which does not exist. I'm perfect for some jobs. It's not a professional email. You know what? Messages I'm getting, bossy? You know what messages I'm getting? I'm getting the messages of like, hey, your toll bill is overdue. I need a like I've been long overdue to change my number. My number's been out there. I've had people message me that I don't want. I don't respond. I'm a ghost when it comes to my phone. And I wasn't always like that, but when you've had your number for like, I don't know, 10 plus years, 15 years, it's kind of hard because they're not the only people that know me. Like outside of this, I've had a lot of people reach out to me. So yeah, but it's time for me to change my number. It definitely is, and remove it from whatever websites they might have it available. I get those messages all the time. You didn't know that? Yeah, it's happening. I've been keeping an eye on it. And a lot of information they're not reporting on that team is not factual. Maybe I'll do a video on that sometime. It's been a minute. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. All right. So that is what's happening in the Bronx. Okay, so let's get into this. Let's get into Dr. Phil because I know some of you guys are here for the Dr. Phil stuff. Lord have mercy. Listen, I just happen to. It's still F you, New York Times. I don't like you. But because I didn't remove my card the last time that I needed to get a subscription for the New York Times, this is where I'm at right now. I'm here with the New York Times, stuck with the subscription, at least for this month. And when I heard that they did this piece, I'm here for it. So Dr. Phil's road from Oprah to ICE raids. So I have noticed, and let me know if you guys have noticed. I don't watch Dr. Phil. Please note that. But Dr. Phil has done this thing where he's now going like political. Have y'all noticed that? He's commenting on raids. He's commenting on various things. Apparently, he's one of the, pseudo TV therapist celebrities that might be joining some of the ICE raids and stuff like that. What do you guys think about that? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Pretty interesting situation, I will say. The daytime TV fixture seems to have taken a right wing turn, but don't call it politics or political. My session with Dr. Phil had reached an impasse. About 3 hours in, seated beside the Dallas mega mansion where he is steering his herky-jerky transition from daytime TV to MAGA-friendly newsman. The once licensed, now he was once licensed psychologist, was given no grounds on what seemed to me an obvious point. He says, I don't think I'm qualified to talk about politics, he said. And also, he insisted he really hadn't. Okay. This was difficult to square with recent events. In the last 2 years, Dr. Phil, surname McGraw, had ended his flagship talk show, created his own news and entertainment network, trafficking daily in conservative coded subjects. Dr. Phil, the hidden gems in Trump's big, beautiful bill. Tell me you're not the hidden gems Oh my goodness, y'all. Like, they said it's the hidden. You said it's the bounty hunter, Phil. Now listen, y'all know they don't like us talking about these topics. I'm gonna need you to take a moment and hit the like button. You know what, Waffles Biscuit? I love your little picture right there. Isn't that the clip? It's a little clip, paper clip from the Microsoft thing. Oh my god, that's so cute. I remember that little assistant with the little clip that used to come when you type on a Microsoft Word. Yeah. What do y'all think about Dr. Phil? Hey, young black economist, how are you, my love? Um, it's Clip. It's him. His name is Clippy. Yeah. Look at Waffle. I would have loved to have stolen that. That's so cute. I remember that. Okay. Let's figure this out. Let's keep going. All right. I hope you guys hit that like button, please, and thank you and support the channel. Thank you. So, Dr. Phil, the hidden gem in Trump's big, beautiful bill. Dr. Phil investigates. Are schools secretly transitioning your child in an unanswering crusade against the woke left? Yeah, tell me you're not going political without telling me you're not going political. Okay. He had spoken glowingly of President Trump as an invited guest at Mr. Trump's Madison Square Garden campaign rally, at a White House faith event, and at a recent Texas flooding briefing, where the president interrupted himself after spotting Dr. Phil. There's Dr. Phil. Look at Dr. Phil. You're looking good, Phil. This is a hell of a situation, isn't it? And later asked him to address the. You know what? It's crazy because I could actually see him doing that. Like, I could actually see him doing that. Like, the, terrific guy, isn't it? Oh my goodness. You know what? Yes, never liked the guy. We all know he's a familiar with the C camps. The working camps, the kids camps. Yeah, yeah. Remember, it's the Clippy community. I like Clippy. I stand with Clippy. It's that's the Clippy's name. We are Clippy. I like it. Anyways, sounds political, but yet some schools were not controlling their woke teachers, not being political. Oh Lord have mercy. But this right here, y'all, like the title is given political when you're saying anything, when you throw these words that it's like this or that and the other. Let me say something. I've had friends from different spectrums and even teachers, right? Like teacher friends. And my thing is that I'm a pretty involved parent. Not that that doesn't make me the best parent or anything like that. I'm very involved. I don't want the school educating my child about sex ed, right? Even though it's there and it's available, I don't want that. You're not going to tell my child, because that's conversations that are for me and for my children. You're not going to educate my children about sex ed. Nope. I don't like that. I don't agree with that. I don't. That's me. But you do have the parents that are not involved, and all they have is school, right? All they have is school. So they depend on the school to educate them, or they just aren't equipped to have those conversations with their children. Okay. I could care less because I don't listen to Dr. Phil, what he votes for or who he lands with or anything. Is he right about some of the stuff that he has said? Well, I've watched some of his shows, and some of the stuff I felt like it's very uneducated, very much for TV. And I know that the American Psychology Association would have an issue, has had issues with Dr. Phil. I know that. But I will say this is that I'm not like, you're not going to, the school is there to educate on school stuff. But when it comes to the body, in terms of what it can be used for and all that other stuff, that's my job. Now, I have to acknowledge that there are some parents that are absent. Like, that's just how it is. So they're going to step in and fill in those shoes. Not my kids. Not my kids. And I know some of you guys feel that way. That's right. And it depends on the age too. Absolutely. So I'm not there for, like, I have a very different view of this. um, because I don't necessarily approve it. You know what I mean? But y'all let me know what you guys think. Let's see. Let's see. Dr. Phil should have just stuck telling stories about people with troubled lives or and whatnot. Stuck with to psychology. Well, and it's very like even in the psychology realm, he's just not. He doesn't do it very well, and that's just how I feel like it is. Let's see. Make sure you watch that about the teaching science and other different. Hold up, let me. Please don't promote other channels on my. Do not promote other channels in my chat. Do not do that. You will get blocked, especially some channels that I don't even know about. Please don't do that. Thank you. Thank you. Please make sure that you watch them about teaching science and other different term classes. If I would have known sooner, they would have really been teaching my kids. So now my son doesn't speak to me. Wow. Yeah, people gotta step up. You said I can't think of Dr. Phil and think of how about that catch me outside saying yeah. And he knows that his show kind of pushed that, right? Okay. Anyways, let's keep going, guys, because we're gonna be here forever. You know that Dr. Phil is not somebody that we are necessarily a fan of. But let me also do something else. Thank you. All right. Here we go. So there's doctors. So this is their meeting, right? Okay, it further goes. Most strikingly, Dr. Phil has secured intimate access to embed with a camera crew on immigration and customs enforcement's raids, pledging to agents that his broadcasting aim was to tell your story and have your back. Dr. Phil likes to say that his focus is social and cultural issues and always has been. No, bitch, it hasn't. Sorry, I'm cussing. Since its Oprah ordained rise as a tough loving public mediator of family drama, it is the politician, he says, who have lurched into his lane, not the other way around. No, my friend, you create the titles and you do it all. And mind you, this is the shit that I'm talking about. He is an Oprah ordained person. Oprah brought him in. Okay? Oprah brought him into the fold. People tend to forget that. And so now that he's catering to one side, people want to forget where he came from. Okay? I'm just saying that. Dr. Phil's parents were walruses. Lord have mercy. um, yeah, but it's the truth. Where did he come from? He came from Oprah, didn't he? Yeah, another reason I don't trust Oprah because why isn't she speaking out against Dr. Phil? Because they're not. Oprah is not going to speak out. She's not. She's not speaking out anybody right now at all. They said Oprah ordained. That's a whole like was she like baptize him? That's crazy. Anyways, let's keep going. Oh my God. He does not care about Federal Reserve, he noted with a merry profanity. With a merry profanity. He does not understand the mechanics of legislation, yet he can speak on it. But okay. Just like everything else. That was more policy than politics, I suggested. I don't know, he said. You're making my point. And his macro point was this. Okay. Bigger level, macro point. That's what macro means. I've spent so much of my life focused on why people do what they do. Dr. Phil said by way of mission statement and don't do what they don't do. Yeah, you've been in other people's business. You're right. And then it's one thing to be a psychologist and have these people come to your office. It's another thing to be a psychologist or an unlicensed psychologist and then publicly publicize this all over the place. And then use the APA or use other professionals to fill in or those fake fraud faux professionals to fill in the shoes for them. And then go on TV and give commentary about Britney Spears or other people and how they should be X, Y, and Z, or your dealings with these people. At the end of the day, these people, they get their licenses, they let them expire once they're on TV to become the faux, phony person that they were meant to be. and then give faux, phony advice to people. Okay. It further goes. I spent so much of my life focused on why people do what they do. Okay. And don't do what they do. In recent months, friends, detractors, and former associates have wondered why Dr. Phil is doing what he's doing, barreling into a partisan media after a lucrative career as a big tent hitmaker. Why is he not doing what he is not doing? Recognizing that he has barreled into a partisan media. Yeah. What is beyond the debate is that Dr. Phil, 74, he's 74 years old, has exposed his shrink next door reputation to the whims of a uh, ooh, fractured media ecosystem, quite unlike that he conquered. Oh my goodness. Okay. It has already been messy. Last month, this company, Merit Street Media, filed for bankruptcy in a hail of litigations involving its faith based partner. Oh, yeah, he's like in the faith based stuff, right? Trinity Broadcasting Network. Dr. Phil swiftly announced a new venture with similar ambitions, Envoy Media, and has begun producing content under its banner. Yet, whatever his professional fortunes, Dr. Phil has merged once more as an avatar of his times, a drawing testament to the chameleon. Cannot even say this word. Let me make sure. Give me one sec, y'all. Commingling. Thank you. Commingling. Y'all, I can't even read today. Commingling of entertainment and civic life. The president, his acquaintance of 2 decades, is a fellow network television, personnel from the early 2000s. The Department of Homeland Security has molded a reality TV show for immigrants to compete for citizens. Look at this. They wanted to do a reality TV show for people to compete for citizenships. You know what this reminds me of? Can I tell you all what this reminds me of? The Hunger Games. You remember the Hunger Games? I actually was addicted to that. I wasn't like I actually watch the whole thing. Um, you guys remember the Hunger Games, right? Like people were competing. They get picked from one area to the next area, and then they'd have to fight to the death. And it was like a little Truman Show orchestrated fight, but people died. And so if you were selected, you had to fight. They did this whole little thing. That's how it seems like to me. I mean, it seems like, and this has been done before. People are way invested in this kind of stuff. They wanted to do a reality TV show where people compete for citizenship. They play way too. This is like real life, right? It's crazy. But okay. Can it really be said that Dr. Phil looks out for places lumbering on a knee beside federal authorities, making cop style television out of an early morning ICE arrest? With so much fake news circulating about the work ICE agents do, we're grateful for those like Dr. Phil who are willing to share the truth, says Tom Homan, the president of the border SARS, said in a statement sent by the White House. The two have regularly shared the screen. Okay. Still an advocate, he says, for legal immigration and gay rights. Dr. Phil, are you? You're an advocate for legal immigration and gay rights. Listen, I have my thoughts about what's happening. I don't like what's happening, but when it comes to both sides, they've never gotten immigration right. Both the left and the right have never gotten immigration right. They don't know how to deal with it and they don't know what to do with it. And he's still an advocate for gay rights. Okay. Dr. Phil believes, but yet you title things to make it look like people should be attacked that support gay rights. Mm. And this is all about public schools, right? Because a lot of these people that have this kind of money wouldn't send their kids to public schools. They'd have their kids homeschool, they go to private school, they do different things, right? You know, it does, Edie. It seems like that. To me, it seems like the left and the right are in the same establishment at the end of the day. You can't tell me that Dr. Phil, this Oprah baptized person, is now suddenly going this side and then gearing his side over here. And people can change their minds all the time. But This is a good point of that. Both the left and the right are in the same they both eat at the same cafeteria table. Some of us aren't invited. It's the truth. I don't eat there. Dr. Phil believes that he has nonetheless lost friends from his bygone life in Beverly Hills, California, where he keeps a home. He has faced death threats. He said there's little of that in daytime. He attributed this largely to his stand against anti-Semitism. He has failed publicly. He has failed publicity as never before. Excuse me. After a long talk show reign, number one, for the high privilege of clawing into the living algorithm of news chatters. I don't have to be doing this at all, he noted. This is not a got to go job. This is a get to job. Okay. But then people are complicated. Dr. Phil proved this every weekday. And during our 4-hour visit last month, Dr. Phil took care to project that he is too. How come I can't read this? Dr. Phil took care to project, excuse me, that he is too. I cannot read today, y'all. Maybe I need more coffee. My eyes are failing. So apparently Dr. Phil describes himself as a old country boy from Texas, Oklahoma, whose Dallas homes include glimmering door handles fashioned into lowercase d and p's. Oh, that's a thing. Why do people put door handle initials? Is that like a rich people thing? Let me know. You said Baldy doesn't make sense. He hacked in the algorithm with malicious intent. You said he's a half step from being Jerry Springer. I mean, he just needs a security there. That's what he needs. Oh my God. Listen, Jerry Springer, at least, let me tell you something. At least Jerry Springer was like outward with it, that he was the mess. He profited from that. I mean, if anybody wanted to dance in a poll, he'd put it out there. Then he profited from the Jerry After Dark. Like he made a profit off of that. Okay. Then he died quietly, and did what he had to do. I know. I think I'm gonna need some readers on that. The ranch that was sanctioned, abuse, child abuse, governed by no one. There you go. He was sending people, and please know, like he wasn't sending people there because out of his, good heart that he was concerned about it. No, he was getting kickbacks out of that. Like nobody refers to a facility without getting any kickback. Okay, it just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. I don't know. You said this is why people should not let their children be on regular YouTube, possibly YouTube altogether. What is that? Unknown. Let me know what you mean by that. And what does that have to do with the topic? Let me know. Okay. And it further goes. So he has door handles into a lowercase d and p, a boulder-sized Lego wall installation depicting scenes and characters from his life. 7 or 8 fireplaces. Oh, he's not going broke. A coffee table book about maximalism and a decorative rooster of unknown provenance. There's something special about it, he said, sighing a bit during a most effectiveless tour of the space. I don't know what it is, okay? But he's also joining the raids. Like he's out here. Look at this. And this, I'm looking at license plates. This is giving me a Utah license plate. Where is this at? So he's out there joining this shit? Okay. He's known to keep 2 essential items in the truck of his Rolls Royce, a shotgun and a tennis bag. You never know, he reasoned. He considered himself a journalist. You think I'm overqualified, and does not dwell on why ICE has furnished him with the premium access. We've asked for it. It was said bluntly. Okay. He has a face so recognizable from his old character. The sheriff grade mustache, the hell pad of a forehead, and it can't shadow his newer one. Did he get Botox? I thought he got Botox. Oh, he must have not. You're Dr. Phil. A Thai immigrant told Dr. Phil mid-arrest last January in Chicago. The host had been questioning the man whom authority accused of sexual misconduct beside Mr. Holman. How do you know me? Dr. Phil says. I've seen you on TV. What a fucking idiot. How do you know as somebody's being arrested? The Thai person says, "You're Dr. Phil. How do you know me, you idiot? You're on TV. Everybody knows you." Like, what? How do you know me? You're Dr. Phil. Everything he is not. And I'm skim reading, y'all. I apologize. Remember when Dr. Phil hit a pedestrian? He did. I didn't know this. He hit a pedestrian. Anyways, Dr. Phil looks almost resigned. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, TV. Is this what he looks like now? Lord have mercy. So this is him holding a tennis ball at his tennis home. Oh my God. Anyways, so if anything, he was more prolific TV frontman than Donald Trump. Okay, so we know this about him. They go into the history. Yeah, I mean, don't forget, this is when they were friends. Okay, this is when she kind of baptized him, and then he became like somebody that she introduced to the fold. Okay, I mean, and this was in '96. Okay. Remember what was it, the episode of the mad cow disease or something like that? See, I was very young when this happened. So Oprah had hired him after Texas cattlemen sued over a '96 episode about mad cow disease. You all remember mad cow disease? I remember the situation of it when people were kind of losing their shit over it. I remember that piece, but I don't feel like I knew too much about the lawsuit. So this is when she introduced him to the fold. Maybe I need to do a video about mad cow disease. That's like nostalgia for me. I'll write it down somewhere. Um, I want to know if he's been on the island. Ooh. What does he know about Epstein? What do you know about Epstein? That's the question that I have. Shout out to everybody coming through, guys. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Okay, so she brings him after the mad cow disease. In 2022, he had his own show, entrenching himself firmly in the zeitgeist of new millennium. He hosted quarreling couples, unruly teens, a sitting president and a first lady, George W. and Laura Bush, and a go-to financial guru and future senators named Elizabeth Warren. Remember, I feel like who was it? You guys remember I'm going to give you guys detail in the chat. I think him and Oprah introduced this one guy who wrote a book. I'll never forget about this guy. I think he recently died. It was a guru. It was a guru who he wrote a book, and it was he was having people live or go into like do like this little a sweat lodge situation where they were staying in this little sweat lodge, and it was covered in rocks, and they had to cover it up, and then a bunch of people died or were injured inside this sweat lodge. Do you guys remember who that was? Somebody died on that. It was a horrible situation. Let me know if you remember in the chat. And the guy went about with his life. He kept writing books. And his thought process was, if you're thinking positively, then that you're able to manifest certain things or something like that. Yeah, it was the guy when the death happens. It was inside the sweat lodge, and Dr. Phil and Oprah were like pushing this guy. They were bringing him on in his show and stuff like that. He wasn't he wasn't certified, but there were people who he would put in the sweat lodge, and it was out in the mountains, literally outside. And it was a sweat lodge made out of tarp, not like your traditional sweat lodges, where people would go inside, and it was said that them sweating this was part of that process. Hold up, let me see if I can. Sweat lodge. The guy wrote a book. I'll never forget, like sweat lodge ceremonies, death by guru. Let's see if I remember. James Arthur Ray. Thank you. James Arthur Ray. I think he died just recently. His name was James Arthur Ray. Damn, I should have just Googled him. James Arthur Ray. Hold up. He just died. He wrote a lot of self-help books. He was a self-help guru, and he was introduced to the fold by Oprah and by Dr. Phil. And people didn't talk about him. He was actually convicted of negligent homicide for a sweat lodge ceremony. It killed 3 people in 2009. I'll never forget this. So James Arthur Ray, I believe he died just recently. Yeah. And it was a really sad situation. This is it right here. Okay. And this guy, guru, I mean, this is the part. It's like these people, yeah, it gave that, honestly, Mark Hardman, and gave like purification of Scientology, honestly. This guy, these gurus that get introduced by Oprah and by all these folks, it's kind of a scary thing, okay? But that was a thing. Yeah, so people are aware. By 2022, he had his own entertainment show. We know this. This was Phil. He's quoted saying, "I figured out really early on, you better listen to your audience and meet them where they're at," Dr. Phil said, "instead of asking them to meet you where you're at." Okay. Oh, and don't forget, he also introduced Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz, now Mr. Trump's overseer of Medicare and Medicaid. Oh, yeah, that's right. So Dr. Oz is now like the head of that, right? And he's part of that campaign. Isn't that funny how they like flipped? Oh my goodness, it's interesting. While Dr. Phil was sometimes criticized for unseemly voyeurism of reductive counsel, it's definitely voyeurism, there was evidence that his show did some good. Oh, really? Okay. I guess Dr. Phil did some good. In 2016, studies suggest that devoted Dr. Phil viewers were likelier to seek mental health treatment. Okay, so who did that survey? That's what I want to know. So they did a survey in 2016. And I wonder, I have a lot of questions about this survey. I'd want to see it. Now, was this a survey that they did of their own audience? Maybe. Or did they do the survey with, like, I don't know, say, people that just watch TV, Kind of wondering. Anyways, let's keep going. Hold up. What does it say here? Let's see. He started a podcast, fill in the blanks. Excuse me, fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks in 2019. He praised Trump, sometimes critically, on late night television. "I can't diagnose him because I haven't done proper evaluations," Dr. Phil told Jimmy Kimmel during the president's first term, but certainly personality disorders came to mind. Okay, when COVID hit, Dr. Phil seemed to find more common cause with the political right, chastising authorities over school lockdowns. "I was labeled a nut," he told Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And now Mr. Trump's House Secretary during an affectionate televised forum last spring. Dr. Phil ended in 2023 of his own volition, he said. Friends encourage his new exploration. I think that it was a good idea for him to end the show because I think people are over it. You see reruns of it on YouTube all over the place. So I don't know. So what do y'all think? I mean, he's turned a new leaf, and he's kind of like one side over here, and he's pushing an agenda. He's going out there on ICE raids. I mean, let me know what y'all think in the comments about that. And he's going to the White House. He's going out there. He's been invited. He's a guest. You said seems like Phil and Trump played the Democrat turned Republican or just become rich. Well, remember, who was it? Eric Adams did the same. Eric Adams did the same, right? Did Dr. Oz get ordained by Oprah? I never, this was such a play on words. Oh my God. Sylvia, how are you, my love? You said F Dr. Oz. He needs to stay out of politics. Well, and Phil, he's messing with the people's Medicare and Medicaid. I mean, don't bring professionals. Bring the people that are in the Hollywood industry. They say politics and Hollywood kind of go hand in hand. They do. They do. Right? But Oprah's been very quiet, and I think that I think she's kind of sitting there scared. You said, check out Cults, Cones, and Kidnapping on Netflix. It's about this boarding school for troubled kids. A lot of actual victims return to tell their horror stories. I'll check it out, Bossy. Guys, Bossy's recommending a Netflix movie. You guys check it out. Cons, Cults, and Kidnapping on Netflix. It's been a minute since I watched anything on Netflix. Yeah, the whole Oprah worshiping, I never understood it as well. Um, oh yes, thank you. James Ray Arthur is the guy from the movie Secret. When that movie came out, when that book came out, it was praise. And the only reason why I remember it, let me tell you why. There was a I was an undergraduate at that time. I think it came out in 2009, 2010. No, before that, 2008. I was an undergraduate student in my criminology program. And we were talking about one of my teachers was a psychologist, and he kept referencing this book, and he kept talking about like this guy's bad news, and then the situation happened with the sweat lodges and stuff like that, in the way in which he was saying things about, like the guru. We were investigating guru because it's a criminology class. How do gurus go from being a guru, right, to like, y'all notice a correlation between being a guru and then the criminality aspect of it? Two connections come about. If you're following a guru, okay, and mind you, this could be a religious guru, this could be a whatever kind of guru, right? Anybody that inspires you, please look into any intersectionality between the guru and their criminal past, because that right there is a huge marker of like future behaviors. And that's what happened. That's why I remember it. I was like, who was that guy? Just couldn't remember. He said he's looking for a new gift. Who better to turn than the master grifter? New grift. Who bet? See, I need my readers, y'all. But then got me some readers. I might have to start reading. I cannot read. I don't know. I might need to get my eyes checked. Um, I don't want to wear glasses, y'all. I've done it. I don't want to wear glasses. He's looking for a new grift. Who better to turn to than the master grifter? That's right. Do you ever hear about the guy who could see the future when he picked up his nose, Nostradamus? James, I had a James Steele moment the other day, and I put a joke on the community wall. You missed it, James. You got to go read it. Um, well, it's kind of like, if you are, I think, listen, Dr. Phil is part of the swamp. That's just my thought. If you don't want to get called out for being part of the swamp, you might as well slowly figure out who you can align yourself with so you don't get suffocated in the swamp. Okay. You got to be careful. But they did a whole expose on, and again, this is on the New York Times. Um, I'm just not buying this whole thing. Listen. I mean, even Dr. Phil warned viewers that illegal immigrants are fueling crime across America. Okay. And that's not fake news at all, right? Like, he's enthused over what he considered agreeable conditions for immigrant detainees. Yeah, put them somewhere called Alligator Alcatraz. You said that there's even exercise classes for women. This is what they said, that they've set up this like little lodging place for illegal immigrants. So why aren't you putting Ghislaine Maxwell there? That's my question. Who has dual citizenship? Why isn't that one? Okay, hold up. And I don't want to speak out of term, because somebody said, well, she's an American. Ghislaine Maxwell citizenship. I'm off. This is what I'm the most notorious woman Momo trafficker. She is a naturalized American citizen. Okay. She retains both French and British citizenships. So if she's a naturalized citizen, why is she allowed to? Why can't that be revoked? You're talking about Rosie O'Donnell can be revoked, but somebody who, she's not on Alligator Alcatraz too. She's made crimes against children in the United States. I'm not buying this shit. I don't like what they've put out there. I'm not drinking any Kool-Aids. I'm just not doing it. KS Smith, thank you so much for the 199, my love. Shout out to you, and thank you for being a longtime supporter. Shout out to you guys. Oh my goodness. Evil Queen, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you. I hope you're doing well, Evil Queen. Mercy Miami just gifted 5 memberships, y'all. Make sure you guys are putting some hearts, emojis, confettis, if you've been blessed. Thank you so much, guys, for the support. That's thank you. Yeah, so she's got like, she's a naturalized American. It's a hotel, right? So put her in Alcatraz. Put her in Alligator Alcatraz. Thank you, Just the T. I thought you could only hold two net. That's what I thought. I thought it was only dual. I didn't know you could hold more than one. Ain't that interesting? So that's interesting. I don't know. It further goes. So they're over here, they're trying to dispel the misinformation. Okay. When you're riding along with the government, they're putting you on a publicity tour, says Aldi Garcia, an organizer and former immigration officer. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry, y'all. Um, you're right on a publicity tour, an organizer and former immigration officer under official under Biden said in an interview he is participating. So basically, a propaganda machine for ICE. You had that one guy who was a Superman guy who was like a former law enforcement officer. Look at this guy. I swear, like you should be ashamed of yourself, Phil McGraw. Literally, I don't know what to say. Look at this. Check out this huge thorough investigation that they did, but it's giving one-sided, and there's only so much I can look into as far as Dr. Phil. I'm telling you, man, this guy, I don't know. You said Elon has 3 passports, triple citizenship. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Yes, I agree with you on that. They need to be. I think Discord should be looked at because it's been the pipeline for a lot of trafficking. You hear a lot of stories like this where people get trafficked and stuff like that. Pics of Elizabeth Holmes in jail. I did. Yeah, they have the same luxury. Apparently, they're saying, well, she's not allowed to do the dog therapy situation. I'm like, I don't know if I necessarily believe that, but you know what, y'all, you guys can believe whatever you want as it pertains to that. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I want to know, you guys. What do you guys think about So Diddy is going to be he's going to be the anti-domestic violence abuse advocate of the prison system. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree or if you don't agree. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't agree. Do you? I really hope that he gets, like, it's too quick of a time to go into that. Like, you kind of have to, work on yourself before you start working on others. That's just my thought. Like, before you go out and because and that's just true to nature, guys. You can't just jump from being an offender to then, like, and it takes years to do that work, right? Where you're working on yourself to find out like what happened. Um, that's what's happening. Okay. Now, is it to avoid prison or is it like, I think that when you're facing yourself in that situation, like you should be able to do projects, that help you rehabilitate, right? Help you see the way in which you've done bad in these situations. Completely agree. Completely agree. But sometimes there's something about timing that makes sense. I don't know if the timing is right for this, but apparently he's going to become the anti-domestic abuser advocate. Okay. I think people can learn a lot from Diddy. I do believe that, but I think it's a little too soon. Sean Diddy Combs' redemption plan includes his aspirations to become an anti-domestic violence advocate. Okay. One of his defense lawyers told Business Insider. All right. I mean, okay. And I guess this is an interview that they did with Alexander Shapiro. That's something that he's actively pursuing in the future. She said in an interview. The idea is that he would work with programs and he'd be able to go in and talk to people, talk to youth, and talk to others about the issues in a proactive way, to be an advocate for it. Listen, I do believe that there's room for that. Listen, don't come for me in the comments because I told y'all I will tell you the unpopular opinion. There's room for that. But as somebody who's worked in the field for a couple years in that, like, you have to do, the offender has to get help himself, and it has to be a couple of years before he can become an advocate to speak against it. you need a little bit, maybe a couple of treatment plans. I highly doubt that you could just like and it's this is just basic offender treatment 101. All right, before an offender can truly get into the treatment of others or the counseling of others, they have to be able to seek within themselves. No shade. Yeah, all they can do is learn what not to do. That's all. you know that's all. Now, this is how I see it. He has to heal himself. That's right. He has to come to terms with those offenses, and repair the community that he has offended on. That's just basic 101 before he goes out there and teaches classes. And I hope that this is not a get out of jail situation, because I don't think that can be used that way. Um, but let me know what y'all think about that whole situation. That's what is the latest news on the Diddy stuff. There's other stuff happening, but we're gonna work on some pre-recorded videos, and I might do a live later. I'm not sure. I still have to work on my Brooke Hogan video, which I'm kind of like pumping myself for. Victims are suffering. Let's go to Epstein real quick, because I said we were going to talk about that, and I got a couple of minutes before I have to go tend to baby bunny. This Epstein files fallout. His victims are suffering every single day. Multiple victims. Okay, so we did we did the letters. They're posted on the community wall. Check them out, guys, where the victims are really calling out a lot of the different things that are happening within the administration. The DOJ has been sued by this group of this lawyer group about the Epstein files and the handling of it. I don't the DOJ and these agencies get sued every day. I don't think they give a shit because they're so protected. Like, honestly, it is what it is. That's what they do. But after the Justice Department asked for the U.S. District Judge Richard Bernard to release the grand jury testimony in the case against Jeffrey Epstein, the judge received an anonymous letter, which we've read that, and basically highlighting what the anonymous letter said. I come forward to you in disdain, disgust, and fear of how the United States of America's DOJ has handled the promises to release the Epstein files. His victim wrote, it has been very difficult time for me personally, mentally, and emotionally dealing with the circus around the Epstein files. And I mean, every day these victims are waking up to news about the Epstein files and everything, and not getting notified and not getting the appropriate advocacy, or not being able to get what they need from this administration as far as the Epstein files goes. I have a lot of questions about this. You said, listen, Linda, listen. You said it's so typical of abusers to become advocates against the same kind of abuse. So many of them can do better. I still think that the abuser better do whatever else. Yeah. Thank you for this comment. It's a lot, Um, when you're coming in this situation, and I think, like, for both Epstein victims, this is a huge undertaking. People think that, okay, you get victimized, you take the guy to court, trial, and it's over. But when your trafficker is somebody, or the offender is somebody that is like huge, well connected, the layers of protection on this individual, even on Epstein, even after he already died, and those around him, the layers of protection, it's just like, it's like the government red tape all over it, right? It's a joke. Even with the Dr. Phil stuff, he's protected too. All these people are protected. This is why on this channel we talk about celebrities, we talk about politicians. We drag them all. We do. There's a layer of protection, and a lot of it is money motivated. They say that money is the root of all evil. It's nice to have money, but they do say that money is the root of all evil. What motivates a lot of people? Money. What motivates crimes? Money. It's the truth. I feel really bad for the Epstein victims, but I'll say this though, and this was a comment that I wanted to make about Dr. Phil too, right? Because I think that all of these Pedialites, perpetrators, celebrity, all of them kind of fall into the same bucket, and they might not have all committed crimes, but they all fall in that same bucket, right? Dr. Phil, who, for example, has pushed himself to be this, family guy solving the drama. You don't think that you're igniting drama within the family, an immigrant family for that matter, who has to deal with these immigration issues? You don't think that that's hurtful to them as well? There's a lot of people that aren't criminals that are here in this country, and they're trying to figure out how to get their stuff legally, and all of that has been halted. You're not talking about that in your media, news, broadcasts, or whatever. Talk about the people that you've put in on that spotlight during your show, like Dr. Charles Sophie, another snake. All these people, they're all, and they have the decisions and decision making over us, which is the scary part. Celebrities are overrated, over celebrated, y'all. Listen, I dropped a little video being shady about J-Lo. I can't even be shady about J-Lo because then the people are coming in and dragging me. Why are you talking about J-Lo? I am a fan. How dare you? Yeah, I talk about all of them. Period. Talk about all these mother effers that don't pay our bills. I'm over all of them. That's why we talk about all of them, because it's like a pipeline that we're watching happen. And I'm glad that we're exposing it here on this channel. Every day there's always something going on. Anyways, you guys let me know what you guys think in the comments. Overall, out of everything, I promise y'all, I'm gonna go get my eyes checked because I couldn't even see the words when I'm reading. I don't know. Maybe my computer's too far off. Or I do need readers, or I just need my eyes checked, period, because these words are starting to look a little weird to me, and I literally have to zoom in sometimes. You said J-Lo is track. Nobody's gonna check you, bossy, but they were trying to check me. It must be a new, what is it, a slow news day for you if you're talking about J-Lo. Yeah, it could very well be a slow news day, but I'm still gonna talk about J-Lo. Matter of fact, I might do another video. I'll talk about all of them. I'll talk about Shakira too. I'll talk about all of them. I don't care. I don't care. You said I heard J-Lo introduce something to Diddy. I don't know about that, but it wouldn't. A lot of these celebrities have a connection to Santeria, so that's not news to me. Her husband, her ex-husband, Ohani Noah, the first guy that she married, he was the one that spoke about the Santeria stuff. So yeah, money could be used for good or bad things. It's based on character. Very true. I know a lot of people that are wealthy that use their money for good, and they earn their wealth. Shout out to them. They got it. They got it from the mine. They build their foundation. And I love that for them, you know? But you're absolutely right. It all depends on the character of the person. Truly, it does. And I agree with you on that. We haven't had I know I don't think we have since it's been a while. It's been ongoing. You know what I mean? All right, guys, I'm gonna let you go because I gotta go tend to baby bunny. Guys, do me a favor, hit the like button. This is the kind of stuff they like to press. And you know what? I'm not gonna change my thumbnail. I think I like Dr. Phil's face right there. People will be like, "Why is Dr. Who is that you're talking about?" I'm talking about Dr. Phil, and we just called him out, and I love it. I'm here for it. Okay. I will see you guys on the next one. Hit the like button. Oh my God, Dean Cain, the Superman guy. What an idiot. Who's checking for him? Nobody. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys. Hit the like. Bye, guys.